On the outskirts of Grand Rapids, Michigan, sits the remains of a once great mall. This was the Kentwood Village Mall. As you just saw there, there's still several remnants of what this place once was, as there was a sign, label scar, for a former store. Or several former stores, actually. This building is a sad, sad sight to see, as just a few years ago it was operating as a medical center. There you can see the Trinity Health sign in that entrance. You couldn't see in there. At some point in the last few years, the entire building was vacated. It also operated as a JCPenney, I think it was call center too, and they also closed. There is not much history on this mall. The outside looks extremely like a Kroger, so I think that there was a Kroger here on this property as part of this building at some point in time. But really all we know is that it attracted some local stores, but it never really did as well as the other Grand Rapids malls, and it's very, very obscure, and there's not much known about it. It is crazy how much this building is just decayed since its closure. Almost every single window is completely boarded up, and there are some that were completely broken. That's a shame. It looks like currently they are working on it. As you'll see later, there's several dumpsters, and it looks like they're just tearing out the entire interior. But if you know where to look, there's a little bit that still remains that looks like a mall. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of just in the middle of nowhere. Just giant parking lot. You would never notice that this was a mall based on looking at it. But it also looks like the Trinity Health or whatever was in there also previously to that never really changed much. You can see spots where they looks like they added like drop ceilings and whatever, and they tried to make it look more like an office building. But since they were gutting it out, in a little bit we'll see that there is still one spot that looks like a mall, one window that you can see through. And even though the storefronts are gutted out, you can still see the general design of this mall. It is just crazy how they boarded up every single window. Almost every single window. But it's just crazy the amount of work that they did here. So, yeah. You can see the entrances. They look very vintage Kroger-esque. And then there's a dumpster. I would have looked in there, but I'm not going to take anything out. But it looks like they're just like throwing stuff out this door at some point too. So that's cool. And now we are on the other side of the building. And this is where you're going to see what's left of the mall. So what you are seeing now is, I think that there was walls here, so you can see this one is in operation, but that is the original, I think, mall ceiling and skylight. And you can't fully see it, but you can get an idea of what this mall was once like.